I think depression is something I deal with daily. Daily. I could be up one day and you will hear from me tomorrow and I'll be in a totally different place.
Yeah.
And I think it's because even with now, it's because of the job, what we do. It's tough.
It is.
It's very tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Not that the work is tough. It's the growing pains you have to go through to try even to be successful. What do you feel about, depression? How do you see it?
I see it as it's a pretty common issue. I know that there's a lot of young people, especially, that struggle with it. A lot of people that are in high school, a lot of people that are in college, they feel like there's a lot of pressure on them. And I've noticed that the depression a lot of it kind of forms from, like, I don't know for sure, but it did for me. It kind of comes from like a performance anxiety. Like, you feel like you have to perform in a certain way, and then when you don't, you kind of get down on yourself. And also there's certain things that people might share with you that you may not really, that either may be true or you may not know about yourself, that people might share with you that might get you down, that you may not be aware of, or they might be telling you some stuff just to get you down. But
so have you dealt with depression?
Oh yeah, I've dealt with depression for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever went to see anybody about it?
Yep. I've gone to counseling. Yeah.
And how's that happen? I mean, how has that worked for you? Like, as far as counseling,
it's been hit or miss. I've gone to several counselors. There was one dude I went to, and he tried to just he was just like, "Hey, how are you?" and it was kind of on some shit like that, and I was like, "This is bullshit." So I'm gonna go somewhere else. He actually ended up cutting me off because I was going to him too much, and apparently when you go to a counselor, you're not supposed to see him like a doctor. Like, you're supposed to see him for a certain amount of time, and then you leave. And apparently I overstayed my welcome, so he kicked me out.
So hold on. So basically, how you get kicked out of the counselor?
I got kicked out of the counselor's office because he felt like he couldn't help me. Yeah,
really?
Or whatever I was doing whatever we were doing wasn't helping. We were getting nowhere. So he felt like I was using it as a place to like vent and kind of like tell him what was going on. I mean, I kind of thought that's what you're supposed to.
That's what I thought counseling was.
Yeah, but he said that I wasn't really like making any progress, so we're just gonna have to end our sessions together. So
really,
yeah.
So basically, counseling is temporary.
They have a time limit apparently. Apparently, you can't go longer than a year in counseling.
I didn't know that.
In counseling, yeah.
Really?
At least with the same person.
That's weird. I never heard that. Like, I've always heard like you can go to counseling and talk to somebody about your problems.
Yeah.
And I think that should be open at all times. Like, I've had problems all the time, and I deal with depression every day.
Yeah.
Like, I think that for myself, I think about, I've been depressed.
Yeah.
I've been depressed. I've had my ups and my downs in life, as far as like just with relationship to, jobs, and just trying to even start my business now. I've had my ups and my downs. When I dealt with like my relationship, I was in a marriage that there was really no love there. Mm-hmm. We didn't marry because of love.
Yeah.
That wasn't really what happened. She probably did. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I know I didn't. Mm-hmm. I didn't marry because of love. I saw problems with that situation when I first, when it was one time we went down, and not saying anything about anyone being in certain situations, but she was in a situation where she was away for a while. Mm-hmm. And then in being away, she made friends that, and I guess what it was for me, I wasn't that person, right? I didn't have friends that was away. Now, I do know people who's been away.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I've been around people like that, and I have friends that's like that. but I never thought I would be with a woman that's been away. You know, and when I went just dealing with her and the type of person she is, she has a very dominant personality. You know, at first I was more of a beta male, where I would do things to please women all the time. It was one of those things like I'll go out of my way for it. And so even if I was upset, or if I didn't agree with what was going on, I would do it anyway just to make the other person happy. You know, and now that's totally not the case. But that through growth and stuff. But I will say, being in that situation, I was depressed a lot because I could never find a happy place for myself. Now, one of the things that I do understand is, like, we did have happy moments. Like, there was times that it was good, then it was times that it was bad. And I was depressed about a lot of things. Then it was with my job. Like, every year they would lay off.
Yeah.
So you didn't know if your performance was good and this, especially with myself, because I used to take advantage of that job. I used to do a lot of taking advantage of that job, but I was young, man, and I didn't know how to deal with certain things. I didn't know how to deal with, like, depression and, you know, letting myself down. I would get so far in the pits, especially, like, even after my divorce. Even though, like, the crazy thing, I didn't marry for love, I never saw myself getting divorced. You know, I never saw that for me. I felt like when I was young, I was going to get married, and that's where it was going to be. That's it. I'm not married again, because I was in a household where my father and mother, they just worked things out, and they was just there together. Now, I never seen them argue and stuff, and I think the biggest part about what my things happen in my relationship is with we could never see eye to eye, and that brought me down. Because I felt like I could never make her happy. I would never be able to make her happy, and I didn't even know how to make myself happy. Yeah. I just thought buying things will make things better. Because I made, like I say, and I've said this before, I made pretty good money while I worked there. So I was able to buy certain things, do certain things, and it just never was enough. It was always something. And I was suggested to go to counseling and stuff, but I never been. Would I go? I don't know. I don't know, because I don't think a lot of the things that you don't realize what affects you when you're a kid. I was the youngest kid. I'm the baby of the family. And when you're raising a big old family of kids at the house, sometimes there's, like, especially, like, if you have, like, these different ages, like, from a certain point, like, this person is this age, and then you're 5 to 6 years apart, 4 or 5 years apart. And you have to grow up kind of by yourself and learning things by yourself. And then when you're talking to people, don't really have time to deal with you.
Yeah.
And that really messes with you as a kid. So just, I think depression is something I deal with daily. I could be up one day and you will hear from me tomorrow, and I'll be in a totally different place.
Yeah.
And I think it's because even with now, it's because of the job, what we do. It's tough.
It is.
It's very tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Not that the work is tough. It's the growing pains you have to go through to try even to be successful. Not even to make anything of success. And everybody's ideal of success is different. When people see us, they feel like you're successful. I know when you go places, people say that to you.
Yeah,
people that know you.
I've actually been told that, oh, you have a successful business, like, congratulations type shit. And I look at it like I'm still desperately struggling.
Yeah, like I'm hurting over here.
Yeah, and you're over here like patting me on the back for some shit I feel like I didn't really.
Yeah, but that's when you have to find a way to, celebrate.
Yeah.
Just celebrate the wins.
Yeah.
We've had wins. We had big
had
wins.
A lot of wins. Yeah.
We had a lot of wins, but I guess in the present, I don't see those wins because I'm so focused on the goal of where I want to be. I'm missing all the things that are happening right to me right now.
Yeah.
That is preparing me for that place.
And it seems like, and honestly, the journey to get to that place is more interesting than when you get there. So this is the part we're supposed to really be enjoying.
Yeah.
But it's hard to enjoy it whenever you're suffering. Yeah.
Suffering mentally, and that's a hard thing, man. Just mentally trying to always be excited. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm doing something. I'm making things happen. I don't feel like that every day.
Yeah.
Even though people see my life and they like, man, you're doing whatever you want to do. You're doing good, and you like, not really.
Yeah.
Not really. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. Yeah. Nowhere near it. But it's getting better though. I will say that. I do a lot of reading now. Mm-hmm. I know we both have done some reading together, and as far as like different books, and trying to get better at what we do. I think that I want to learn how to get over this depression, but I think that it's something that you're gonna live with.
Yeah.
I think it's something that's more of an eternal fight, an eternal battle to get past.
It is.
So I feel that, well, let me just ask this. So as far as with you, how do you feel like you handle your depression?
Yeah, it's something I definitely feel every day. I have my ups and my downs. There's some days where I'm really feeling it, and then most days where I'm not. What helps me is basically just like balanced diet, working out, going for runs. Every time I feel really worked up about something, I feel anxious and I feel like it's got me worked up and real tight, I'll go for a run. It'll loosen me up a little bit and it clears my head. And while I'm running, it puts you almost in a dream state to where you can work your problems out in your head while you're doing the activity. And kind of like when you get done with the activity, it's almost like you have everything worked out. And if you don't have it worked out, you at least accept whatever the outcome is. So whatever it is, you still feel good about it. You still
that's crazy because I read that in the book.
Yeah.
About if you basically just accept whatever the outcome's gonna be, good, bad, or indifferent. You just accept that. That you will have a better chance of figuring it out than you do by worrying.
You do
about it. About the situation and putting yourself in this depression.
Yeah. And worrying can actually make things irrational. You'll start thinking about things that realistically will not happen to you. Yeah. And you start thinking about it like it realistically will happen. Yeah. And it's far from the truth.
Well, you can even create that narrative. You can create that narrative with how you thinking because you already put yourself in that mindset that this is going to happen to me or it may happen this way to me or whatever, And that's kind of, I know sometimes I do it myself a lot. Like I can, like with the Facebook, getting on Facebook and going through, scrolling through, people's pictures and, their lifestyle. I have to catch myself and not to be caught up into their lives and feeling like my life is meaningless. Yeah. Because they look like they're having all the fun. They look like they're doing this. And it's not that we're not having any fun. We're just not enjoying the time that we are having.
Yeah, not enjoying the journey.
We're just going through the process of the journey so we can get to the next step.
Yeah, you always focus on the next thing. You can't enjoy
and
right now.
I can't enjoy right now.
Yeah. But even when it gets to the point, though, where we are, like, making more money and you do have, like, everything that you need, like, do you still think you'll be focused on the next thing, or do you think you'll be able to enjoy the now?
I think with me, it's gonna be forever. Like, I'm not satisfied.
Yeah.
I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter with me. I'm one of those people who I'm never satisfied.
Yeah.
Because I want so much for myself, for my kids, for my family. Yeah. I'll never be satisfied.
Yeah.
So I know that about myself. So the thing that I try to deal with now is the worry.
Yeah.
I don't want to worry so much about things, because that puts me in my depression, and that'll start making me feel like I haven't accomplished anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if I can just get past the worrying part, I could do a better job with handling the depression. But it's real. It's real, man. It have you low, for real.
It will. Especially whenever you don't make a lot of contact with people. You don't really see like a lot of people in the day to day, and the people that you do see, a lot of them don't really like have a lot of support for you. Like it can be pretty hard, and I don't know, man. Like sometimes sometimes that sense of community is big. Like you need some kind of sense of community. People that back you, people that you feel like are a strong backbone or a foundation for your life. Sometimes that can really help. I know for me, like the skateboarding community has been huge. Like we're a bunch of weirdos, we're outsiders. Like we don't really, like people don't really accept us as normal, but we accept each other, and that kind of helps us like get through the stuff that we struggle with, because skateboarders really aren't normal. People don't normally want to get on a skateboard and like jump downstairs.
Oh, don't worry about it. I don't.
Hit handrails.
Yeah.
Like you have to be
a little crazy.
You got to be a damaged product to be a skateboarder, because you're constantly damaging yourself. So you have to already be damaged. Like there has to, and I didn't recognize that when I was younger, but I recognize that now. And I guess like for me, just like finding that sense of community, like whether it's skateboarding or it's church or it's people that you went to high school with, people that you've always like felt like contribute to your life. They bring something to it rather than like take away from it. Those people kind of help you through those depressive moments. And I know whenever you get in a funk or you feel like you're depressed, you want to isolate, you want to shut everybody out. You don't really want to deal with anybody, but sometimes it's good to get out and hang out with some people and experience something different than what you normally experience. Sometimes that can help you kind of get out of your funk. Sometimes getting out of your comfort zone is exactly what you need whenever you don't want to.
Yeah.
You know? But
yeah.
It's helped me out a lot. Like people, like I've had a couple homies that have gotten me out of my comfort zone when I really don't want to do shit. I really don't want to do anything. I just want to sit, want to lay around, eat some junk food, maybe like drink, smoke, like whatever. But I don't want to go do any activities. And they've pulled me out of the house. They've gotten me into some activities, and I felt better because of it. So,
yeah. Have you ever been with been in a situation where you was dating someone and that situation made you depressed?
Yeah. I mean, might need a little more context. Like,
well, I'm just saying, people be in these relationships and then it feels like it doesn't
add value.
Well, that or you feel like the relationship isn't working. You're in love with this person, and then bam, it's over. And you feel like you lost everything, and that made you depressed.
I felt like that before.
You have?
Yeah, I felt like that a couple times.
Man.
A couple times. It's not easy to work through. I realistically, like, it was a little bit of an exaggeration because I realistically did not lose everything. I know there's some people that they realistically do lose everything, and that's got to be really hard to deal with. Well, but anytime a relationship ends and you really care about that person, you've put like all of yourself. Like.
Well, why would you do that?
Yeah, I know. I knew you were gonna touch on that because you always you talk about never putting all of yourself.
Man, hell no, you can't do that. Man.
But people do it.
I've done it.
I have too.
So that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But now know never to do it. I know not to do it again.
Yeah.
So I do get it. I do get that, when you first in a relationship and you give them all and then they leave. But that's the problem with it. If it doesn't work out, now I'm so depressed and I can't move on. We have, oh my God, I lost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never want to feel like that.
Yeah.
I never want to feel like that. And I remember hearing that from my uncle. Like I said, that it sounds like for me, I guess since I've heard it, it sounded kind of raw, and it sounded like that was like mean.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've gotten older to understand what he was saying, it's not that you're not giving yourself to someone. You're putting in that effort. But I would never put that much into another person for my happiness.
Yeah.
For this idea of that person will never be gone. And that's, hell, we all may end up dying.
Yeah.
We have to learn how to move forward and move on. And the only way you can do that, if you keep something for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to be able, because, people lose a relationship and the person like cheats on them, or they go out and they go kill somebody. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
And they'll go out here and do something stupid, and then they'll lose their whole life. And now they're in jail for the rest of their life, and that person got to move on.
Yeah.
They're not going to, I mean, there's very seldom that people that's faithful in those type of situations. Because you're gone, you can't do anything, and people love that physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
People love that it's a big thing in relationships to have that physicalness in the relationship. You could talk on the phone, but if that's all I can do, that gets old.
Yeah, that's why long distance relationships
don't work very well.
Yep.
So I don't know. I just know depression is something that I've dealt with. I'm still working through, and I want to get better at it. But I know it's certain forms of my life I don't get depressed about. I think I get depressed about more of my money, like my financial situation, and more of like how my business is growing and things like that. But or feeling like it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
As a personal thing, I'm not accomplishing what I want to accomplish. So I think a lot of my depression deals with that. And I just need to figure out how to maneuver that. But I think that depression is something you're going to always deal with. Especially like myself, I'm always in my head. I'm never satisfied. I'm always in my head. And I feel like I'm supposed to be a lot further than where I'm at.
Yeah.
But, you got anything else to say, brother?
Just if you're struggling with depression, just work on finding a sense of community, get some help, find somebody to talk to. If the counselor tries to cut you off, find somebody else, because really, like realistically, they're probably just trying to get your money. Because I felt like that a couple times. I did come across one counselor that realistically tried to help me, and he never cut me off. So
really?
find somebody that won't cut you off. Find somebody that doesn't say, "Oh, well, it's been an hour and you just, that's our time." Like find somebody that actually cares about you and talk to them. And honestly, like you can, there's a lot of you can find that without going to counseling. You just have to find a sense of community, find out where you fit in, and get out of your comfort zone every once in a while, and find that sense of community and find those people, because there's a lot of people that aren't gonna like treat you right. But those people that do treat you right, it makes it like the other ones don't even matter. So just find that community.
Find that community. Find the community.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's been our show. And like I said, if you like the show or you want to hear anything that you want us to talk about, please leave it in the comment section and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Like I said, hit that like button. Keep commenting. And hit that bell button so you know when we have a new episode. And again, I'm Kel.
And I'm Jake.
And you have been kicking it with Kel and Jake. Peace.